We are going to take you live to City Hall now, where Budget Chief Shelley Carroll is speaking to reporters. Let's listen in live.
So that's the first presentation from staff. Any questions before you go into the deep technical briefing that happens as soon as this thing is up on the website?
We combined with the city building levy and the property tax increase, the proposed 9%, so that 10.5. What is the average homeowners' tax rate going to, or how much will they be paying extra per year rather?
Well, and I'm glad you asked that question, because we speak in percentages all the time, but what it works out to, between those two, that combined increase, it works out to about $30 a month. So I guess we're talking about $1 a day. That's about what it is on the average homeowner, fully acknowledging that there are people both above and below that average.
Councillor, there seemed to be some council pushback on the idea of eliminating windrow clearing in some parts of the city. It's only offered in certain parts. Any feelings on that? Some people are saying it's equality, but other people in there seem to be saying it would hurt vulnerable seniors.
Well, I think that's going to be a very active discussion throughout the month of January, when we're doing the most of the public process. I come from North York, and the conversation that I seem to have every year annually is, this service is nothing like it was in the old days of North York, and that's very, very true. The service level we're able to deliver in windrow clearing is not what the original design was, and so a lot of time is spent looking at the quality of windrow clearing. I asked a tough question of the transportation director when I saw this proposal. She didn't hesitate for a minute. I said to her, if we were to eliminate this, and this is a consideration community members are going to have to make, if we were to eliminate this service, would every other part of our snow services get better? And without taking a breath, she said, 100%. That I can guarantee you. And that was compelling to me. And so I think we're going to have that conversation in the community, because there have been questions about the quality of our snow program across the board.
But is the solution to cut it back, though?
I'm just saying that that's staff's proposal right now, and so now we've got to have that conversation with the community.
Council, the Canadian Taxpayer Federation is asking Council to outright reject this budget, saying that people in the city just cannot afford it.
Well, what I would say to the Canadian Taxpayers Federation is that the needs, knowing the needs were so significant in this city, that is precisely why we went out to do pre-budget consultations so extensively across the survey and across the 16 rounds we did in public. We heard compellingly from the city that in hard times, that's exactly when we do need the city to be able to continue to deliver the services we rely on. I'm quoting at that point. That's exactly what was said to me at multiple locations at the table by residents. This is when we need you most. And so we've done our best to find efficiencies. I would think that that organization would be pleased to see at long last the highest list of efficiencies and cost avoidances at $620 million. Now we have to talk about the community, about whether those are efficiencies they can live with.
If the feds don't come up with the $250 million, how serious are you when it comes to how much money Torontonians will have to shell out? 16.5%, that's huge.
Well, I know that having found the efficiencies we found so far, there aren't a lot of other efficiencies we can do without squarely hitting frontline services across the city. And so I will have no choice but to put on the table that option that says I direct you guys to come forward explaining what it would look like to have a federal impact levy of 6%, because I know that's the one thing that I can guarantee would deliver $250 million. Doing it any other way, I can't really guarantee.
So then is it more of a threat then to the federal government?
It's an invitation to come to the table and finish the conversation we have started long ago. There was a federal staff member sitting at the New Deal table with the province. The province has responded amazingly. We are asking the federal government now to decide their role in the New Deal for the City of Toronto, and we've highlighted for them the most significant challenge we face that is a federal responsibility.
Some councillors are calling this budget out of touch given the affordability crisis. What is your response?
Well, I think that if they sit down in their offices, as they can do this afternoon with the analyst notes, then they will have to look at, are we in touch with what our residents expect us to deliver? Are we answering the questions they ask all the time? When they call and say, this didn't happen as well as I wanted to, can you fix this for me? Can you repair this for me? This budget seeks to do that. And so they will have to ask themselves, is it in touch with residents or not? Residents call us every day asking for improvement, asking for investment, asking for better services, guaranteed services, everything a city should be doing for them. This budget is in touch with that.
Are you saying these things will happen then in 2024?
That's what this budget seeks to do. That's why you heard staff speaking so confidently today. They did their level best to find efficiencies. They also did their level best to make sure that they continue to deliver the services that Torontonians rely on most, and particularly now.
Do you think there's any opportunity here for further efficiencies, cost savings, something that could bring this proposed property tax down?
Well, sometimes, because there's always so much pressure on the budget, a councillor says, I don't see what I want in this budget, and we say to them, well, then you have to find a way to fund that. They often do come forward and introduce an efficiency that they can live with that isn't in this budget. I invite that. That's why I'm making myself so available to members of council and to their communities, and saying I'm happy to accompany you to your budget town hall and have those conversations, because I want to hear what they have to say. Mayor Chow is planning to attend as many of those as she can and open up the phone lines to the entire city, because if people have ideas for more efficiencies beyond what they see in the launch today that staff have drafted, we're happy to hear them.
Councillor, the taxpayer federation also says the average cost of a home is just over $1 million, which would mean more than $700 a year based on the proposed property tax numbers. Who's right here? You guys, them? There's got to be discrepancy somewhere.
Well, the revenue services every year uses accurate information to come up with the average of all households that pay property taxes, and the average is about 700,000. And yes, that includes a lot of condo owners. That's a very key component of rate paying and home owning in the city of Toronto. And so the numbers that they quote in their presentation are based on the true math and technology available in revenue services.
For years, the property tax rate went up at the rate of, or just below the rate of inflation, and many people have said that was an artificial tax rate. Could a number as painful as this one have been avoided if it had gone up more in past budgets?
Oh, absolutely and certainly. You know, I'm not bitter and twisted, but I'll tell you how we made a 0% property tax increase in 2011. In the previous year, I closed out a budget as chair of the budget committee at that time, leaving almost $400 million in the property tax stabilization reserve. The following year, how you got a 0% property tax increase was emptying that out in one fell swoop. That's how it was done. That's how it was done. That's not wise. That's not prudent. What we're trying to do here is to be very wise, very prudent, and chart a new course that actually does allow us to get better and better and better in this city. And we haven't been able to say that as we launched the budget for many years. There is a course underway as a result of the budget that the CFO launched today. You heard him say it yourself. This actually is our first real chance to be sure that we're charting a course to get better and better and better.
Staff didn't actually say it was going to get better and better. They said
All right, we've been listening to Toronto's budget chief, Shelley Carroll, talk about the big news out of City Hall today that could impact you, your family, your finances. Homeowners in this city could be looking at a double-digit property tax increase. This is the city of Toronto faces a massive budget shortfall.